Hello everyone. So in today's video, we'll discuss about foreign key constraint. Now what is a foreign key? So foreign key is a column that is used to establish a link between two tables. It is a way to enforce referential integrity within Oracle database. Now the term referential integrity refers the relationship between tables that can be achieved by using the foreign key. Foreign key in one table used to point primary key in another table, and the table with the foreign key is called the child table, and the table with the primary key is called the referenced or parent table. So now let's go to our SQL developer and try to understand the foreign key using some examples. So for that, we first create a parent table, that is a department table, and the department table will have two columns, a department ID and department name. And the for the department ID, we'll create a constraint, which is a primary key constraint, pk underscore department ID. So let's create the table. So you can see the table is created. Now let's insert some rows into the table. So we'll insert total 3 rows into our department table. So now let's try to query the table using the select star from department. You will see the 3 rows is available in our table. Let's commit the transactions, and remember this department ID is the primary key and this is the parent table. Okay, now we'll create the child table with the foreign key. Now the child table is the employee table, and the table will have employee ID, hire date, and department ID. And the for department ID, I will create the constraint fk underscore department ID, and that will be a foreign key constraint. Okay, and the constraint I am creating for this department ID, for the department ID column, and it will refer the department ID column of the department table. Okay, so let's create this. So table employee is created. Now we'll have a table called department. That department table is having a primary key department ID, and that department ID I'm referring using the foreign key constraint a department ID in the employee table. Okay, and I'm using this references keyword to establish a connection between this department ID of the employee table and the department ID of the department table. Okay, now let's try to query again this department table. If you remember, only the 10, 20 and 30, these three department id are available in my department table. Okay, now as we have linked this department table, that means we can, while inserting the rows into our employee table, we can insert only this set of department id. That is, either we can insert department id 10, 20 or 30 into our employee table, as we have connected the department id using the foreign key. Okay, so let's try to insert some values into the employee table. You can see the first rows will have our employee ID 101, hire date 1st March, and department ID 10. So this 10 is already available in the department table. That is why we can insert the record. You can see one record inserted. But let's try to insert some value of department id that is not available in our department tables, that like 15. 15 is the department id that is not available in our department table. So let's try to insert the department id as 15. So while trying to insert the department id as 15, you are getting error, integrity constraint violated, parent key not found. That is, the department id 15 is not available in our department table. That is how you cannot insert in your employee table, because now the two table is connected using the foreign key. So whatever the values you have in your department table for the department id column, that values only you can use in your employee table while inserting the data. Okay, that means you can insert only the department 10, 20 or 30 in your employee table. You cannot insert any other values like 15 or 25, any other values except 10, 20 and 30. Okay, if you query your employee table, you can see our department id 10 is the only row that is available in your employee table. uh, Now, this department 10 is having the employee ID 101, and as this department 10 is having some employee, so you cannot delete uh, that department ID in your department table, that is the parent table. So let's try to delete. So while you are trying to delete some records of department ID 10, you are getting integrity constraint violated, child record found. That means you cannot delete any records from the parent table, that is the department table, that is having some child records. So we have already some employees for the department ID 10. That is why you cannot delete this department ID from the department table. Okay, so 10 you cannot delete, but you can delete 20 or 30 from your department table. So let's try to delete the department 30. You can delete. Okay, also if you want to delete the department 20, you can also delete the record as well. You can see you can delete the record. Okay, so you have to remember that whatever the uh, parent key you have in your parent table, if some child records is there for that parent record, that you cannot delete the parent record. Okay, now the last thing I'll tell you about the how you can drop this foreign key constraint. So if you want to if you want to drop the constraint, you can use this alter table script. So alter table employee drop constraint name. So if you want to drop the constraint, you can drop the constraint. You can see. Also, if you want to again add the constraint, you can use the again alter table script, alter table employee add constraint, then constraint name, foreign key, uh, the column name, and the references clause, and the referred table with the column. So let's try to add the constraint. You can see table employee altered. Okay, and how can you check the constraint is available in your table or not? You can go to this uh, schema. You go to just refresh. You can see department table is there, employee table is there. Go to your employee table, go to constraint section. You can find the constraint tab. You can check this is your constraint. Okay, and it is a type is foreign key. Okay, so this is all about a foreign key constraint. Thank you so much.